Gargoyle police, come outside here. Is anyone else inside? With you?
This is a police welfare check in Garden Grove, California.
Kitchen is clear. Clear.
Officers are here checking on the safety of a 5-month-old baby whose twin brother is in the hospital, poisoned by fentanyl.
I'm worried obviously for the safety of that child.
As the infant is loaded into an ambulance, police move in on his father.
Dude, what the f?
This fentanyl scare is a close call. What eventually happens to the babies and this entire family comes as a surprise to everyone involved.
Okay. Garden Grove, 1 female, cooperative.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney before and during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you before questioning if you wish. Do you understand each of these rights that I have explained to you? Can you give me a verbal confirmation?
Yes.
Thank you.
The case in Southern California is like hundreds of others throughout the country. We're about to show you how big the problem really is. This map marks every fentanyl poisoning of a baby or young child that Scripps News has researched over the past couple of years.
Mitchell Robinson.
We've investigated approximately 460 cases coast to coast, from the twin babies we just told you about to a 3-year-old girl in central Maine.
This is Dream. She died in Michigan.
Hundreds of these markers represent children who died.
Charlie died in Virginia.
But many survived. So we set out to gather details in every case to shine light on and show you the trends that might save lives.
All of this stuff that's sitting here right now is stuff that we've collected over the last 2 years. It's records that we've requested, it's court documents. Some of the things came in snail mail, some of the things on a CD.
We interviewed close to 50 people on camera. The list includes legislators, researchers, experts who work in child welfare, and first responders. We visited a prison, met with moms and dads, and listened to grandparents left behind. We even spoke with a child who swallowed a pill she found in her kindergarten classroom.
I was dizzy. When I would walk, I would start wobbling. I wanted to go to sleep so bad.
The trends we tracked reveal how kids got access to fentanyl, symptoms of a poisoning, and the biggest mistakes caregivers make when trying to save a life, like not getting medical help or administering the life-saving medication called Narcan or naloxone in time.
This journey has been emotional, but we've put everything we've learned right here in this program so that you can be empowered by the facts.
This is Alex Santiago, the father of the twin California boys. He's in the Orange County Jail after both of his twin babies tested positive for fentanyl. They survived, but will be removed from the home. He's being booked in for child abuse.
I made a mistake, man. That's all I did.
Yeah?
I got stressed out.
Mm-hmm. What are you referring to making a mistake about?
I got high, man. I just made a mistake.
Nearby, the twins' mother, Lauren Hinton, is also at the jail. Police have just discovered this baggie containing fentanyl hidden in her mouth.
They ended up spending about 6 months in this jail.
When they got out, we tried to track them down in Southern California.
I have been trying to get a hold of them for more than a month. And also it was really important for us to talk to this family because the twins survived.
This past spring, when the couple was back on their feet getting support for their addiction, they opened up to Scripps News about their struggles with the drug.
It was necessary for me to do the time that I did. You know, the only concern I had when I was finally coherent was like, hopefully I'll get the chance to be a mother to my kids.
The power of addiction, it's crazy, like nothing else matters. You know, you would think that like your child's life would matter. It doesn't matter. Using in front of your kids, you would think that would matter. Doesn't matter.
They shared with us how their nightmare unfolded. Lauren says over the course of weeks, one twin seemed to be gagging on his own saliva, and his symptoms progressively got worse.
It just got extremely concerning. It would be a ton of saliva coming up to where he'd be choking.
What was it that day that made you take him into the hospital?
I think I was just so under the influence from the specific drugs that I was on that I became extremely paranoid. So I was gearing up to the fact that like his death wasn't going to be on my watch.
The hospital performed a drug test revealing fentanyl in the baby's system, and that triggered them to test the other twin, who showed no symptoms but ultimately tested positive for fentanyl.
All I know is they caught it in enough time.
So you think
because he could have overdosed and died.
You think this test saved his life?
Saved his life.
Saved his life. And she says their whole family. But what's frightening is how these kids are accessing these drugs. And many are not getting help in time.
We were sleeping and I woke up and I can't get her to wake up.
I woke up and he was on top of me.
I just woke up and he was like that. We both went to sleep and now she's purple.
He woke up and she was cold.
Where was the baby when you were napping?
Just walking around. You got to go.
In January 2024, Lauren Hinton made the important decision to take her baby to the hospital, even though she was on drugs and knew she risked being arrested.
I just remember being super frantic, like, I'm getting him to the hospital, like totally out of it, you know, intoxicated beyond belief. The end result, like, either way, I'm getting there. I don't know what time and I don't know how, but I'm gonna get there.
She spent 6 months in jail, but her child survived. She now says she made the right decision.
This is life or death.
At Scripps News, we've been investigating hundreds of similar cases.
This is a case from Philadelphia. This is from a police report in Seattle.
We've been sorting through crime scene photos and court filings.
This is from Duquesne County in Utah. This is another piece of body cam that's from New Mexico.
And we've gathered more than 100 hours of audio clips and footage with the goal of finding answers to important questions about how this crisis is devastating so many young kids.
People have often asked us, how are these kids getting access to fentanyl? We asked Lauren and Alex, the California parents, how their twins got into it, but they weren't completely certain.
I was the type that always like wash my hands, always like sanitize, or anytime that I would touch them, I was always that extra step.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was a residue or maybe a binky laid down on something or me making the bottle and it getting like that.
Do you think you were oblivious to where the fentanyl was going in your house and how it might have been getting into your children's bodies?
Yeah, I just don't think I was coherent enough to really care.
seen similar stories in the thousands of records we've read, but we also obtained actual footage capturing how this is happening.
This is one of the videos that we got that shows how a child actually got fentanyl.
There are a few blurry surveillance videos from this Colorado case. The court records fill in the blanks.
It says the defendants and others were smoking and selling fentanyl in the master bedroom and put fentanyl pills on the bed while the child was present. The defendant mother is heard to say to the child, "No, get out of that."
No, get out of that.
What we think is children are either ingesting, putting pills in their mouth, fragments of pills, or whole pills.
Or being exposed to some kind of paraphernalia that may have had residual substance on it.
And then they're putting their hands in their face, in their mouth. They're picking in their nose.
What are these little blue beads?
In this video we obtained from Phoenix, Arizona, the drugs seem to be where the baby sleeps.
We saw on the body cam when police went to investigate in the crib and they pull fentanyl pills out of the crib.
What is that? M30s. Blues.
You hear somebody saying those are teething pills.
Like they're sleeping pills. What is it? No, they're teething.
The teething pills?
But the police say those are actually fentanyl.
I bet he ingested one of those.
I've never seen those.
Oh, no?
I don't know what those are. I just
We also found reports showing drug foils in a basket with Easter candy at a home and fentanyl at a daycare.
A lot of the parents that we talked to and caregivers said they thought they were being very careful, but in retrospect realized in addiction, they were actually being very careless.
Here's a handwritten letter a father wrote about how his child got poisoned, addressed to the court.
No matter how careful I was, or how loving, or how well I provided, it only took one mistake.
When you look at these situations where kids are in the home where illicit fentanyl is being used, we know that is a very dangerous situation.
Our investigation found valuable clues to know how to identify when a child is poisoned, and many witnesses described similar symptoms.
He's only a year old.
A year old? Okay. Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
My nephew is blue.
We obtained this audio and video from real emergency calls.
Okay, but then he started turning purple.
Rubbing his nose, his lips looked like a little discolored.
Repeatedly, caregivers described children dozing off unexpectedly and strange sounds like snoring and gasping.
Then all of a sudden we heard him making this gurgling sound. Gurgling sound? Yeah, like this weird sound.
He came out and he started doing this wheezing, and then he was limp in my arms.
What does that mean, he's breathing roughly?
Like it's rattling. He's not breathing easy.
Even in adults we hear, well, I heard a lot of snoring, weird snoring, so I thought he was asleep, and in the morning they're dead. So we've, people have coined it as a death rattle. That often happens before they stop breathing, and that's a time to intervene.
You can hear some examples here in this video that we obtained from a child's bedroom in Colorado.
The child did not survive. Our investigation also found in too many cases people passed off the symptoms as something less severe.
This report came from Troy, Michigan. This is a witness, the caregiver who was checking on this child. She wrote, "I noticed the child sounded weird breathing." So she texted the father of the child. He said it sounds like congestion. Really, this was a fentanyl poisoning.
And our Scripps news analysis revealed many people waited too long to ask for professional medical help or didn't administer the opioid-reversing medication, Narcan or naloxone, in time. This is a case from Scottsdale, Arizona.
And then you woke up, what time?
Like 7.
Okay. It's 8:05 now, so Did you call us right away or call 911 right away?
But police said this mother contacted a friend who brought her child Narcan before she called for help. The child did not survive.
He's gone. He's gone.
In the approximately 460 cases we reviewed,
She's with EMS.
No, he needs the Narcan.
No, well, wait.
He got into it. He got into a pill.
at least 145 children survived after receiving Narcan or naloxone in time, though many kids needed multiple doses or even a constant drip.
It's important to still seek medical care. So you might need more doses, because what might happen is you get Narcan, you're revived, and 20, 30 minutes later, you might go into an overdose again.
After watching dozens of hours of body cam, we realized there was a learning curve with how naloxone and Narcan is used, and even medical professionals years ago sometimes had it with them but wouldn't use it.
In this Arizona police report we obtained from a 2020 case, an officer says he offered Narcan, but no one used it. You can hear him suggest it to other first responders as they try to revive a 2-year-old in this video.
I have Narcan. I don't think it's true.
Well, now we're seeing medical professionals say, you should use it, you should just give it a try.
Narcan or naloxone can even be used on babies.
Sweetie, got a Narcan.
Okay. He is pinpoint pupils. I think we ought to do some Narcan.
I agree.
All right.
I train them. I say, whatever Narcan you have, give it. I said, if it's a 6-month-old who's not breathing, give them your adult dose of Narcan, right? You're not going to hurt them.
Getting professional medical attention early on can be critical. It's something Lauren Hinton understands, a lesson learned that gave her children and family another chance at life.
Because fentanyl is a synthetic substance, it does not come out on urine tox.
It does too.
No, it doesn't.
I hope that legislation like mine can start to help address some of that by making sure that their families and the care teams know what's in the child system.
And if it saves one life, it's worth it to me.
I know it's saving lives, so I hope, it kind of makes me feel like his death was not in vain.
Yeah, you want to do it again? Yeah, okay. Can brother do it after you? Can we share? You gotta dip it in more, Bubba. More? You gotta dip it in more.
Yeah, these lights are kind of bright.
Hi, baby. Hi.
In the depths of her fentanyl addiction, Lauren Hinton was prepared to sacrifice everything.
When the social worker initially came to see me, like the first 2 days, I remember telling her, I think that they're better off without me. And I was like still really sick coming off the fentanyl. I just remember telling her, like, I think you should find someone else, And she's like, are you sure? And then they came to see me one more time. And at that point, I was better. I was on a maintenance, which is medication-assisted treatment. And I was like more coherent. And I was like, wait. I am the best thing that is for these kids. They need their mother. Hey, Didi!
After months in jail and drug rehab, Lauren and her partner Alex got the chance to give parenting another try.
I almost don't even feel worthy.
To be sitting here today with them, healthy, what does that mean to you?
Honestly, it's a miracle.
Like, they're the biggest blessing of my life today.
The journey ahead will be challenging, but looking back helps them appreciate how far they've come.
I thank that detective for charging me. I thank them for doing that. Because if they didn't do that that day, like, something tragic would have happened. You know, and because of that, it lit a fire under me to want to never witness or experience that again.
Lauren and Alex say they want their story to inspire others to have hope and to ask for help before it's too late.
After years of reporting on this issue, we were happy to tell a story about hope and survival rather than tragedy. But the reality is that kids are still being poisoned by fentanyl. We hope you learned something from our reporting and that you share it. You never know, it might save a life.
No matter how you try to justify the situation, there is help out there. There is no reason why you have to go out there and do this alone. And that if you don't do something soon, it's going to be fatal.